So today I am at the Forest of Arden and I'm just awaiting for Ryan to arrive for a day's coaching experience. If you follow me on Instagram, you may well have seen a few weeks back I ran a competition alongside TaylorMade for one of you to enter and win that experience here at the Forest of Arden. Ryan is coming for a 2-hour lesson. He's then going to be fitted into a brand new SIM driver, and then we're going to go and play 18 holes on the golf course. So I thought I'd sort of create a video and show you a little bit about the process of what a live lesson looks like with me here at the Forest of Arden. I've never seen Ryan's golf swing before. I've never seen him hit a golf ball. I believe he plays off 16. So he should be arriving any moment now. I'm going to have a little bit of a chat to Ryan, get to know him, find out a little bit about his game, and then we're going to get straight into the lesson and see if we can help him with his golf game. Okay, Ryan, so playing off 16?
16.
Okay. And kind of said your scores are in that region, aren't they? Kind of maybe high 80s into the kind of 90s?
Yeah.
And how long have you been playing?
Taking golf a bit more seriously for the last sort of 5 or 6 years. Trying to take it more seriously each round I play. So, so as soon as I get to 140, 150 in, hit the 150 marker, I feel really confident hitting into the green. It's outside of that where I have to take the longer iron, or off the tee, where it suddenly starts to all go wrong.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to hit a couple of shots, and we're going to use TrackMan. Which are going to get a little bit of data on kind of what the ball's doing, what the club's doing, take some videos of the golf swing, and then we can kind of go through that and explain kind of what we're doing. Because you said you've not really had a lesson?
Never before.
So do you know much about your golf swing? Do you kind of, if I said to you, you've just hit one left, would you be able to say why it's gone left?
No.
Or okay, perfect. So job number one really is to try and get you to understand your tendencies. Why do you miss one right? Why do you miss one left? Why do you get the strikes you do? Because I think for me as a coach, you're more likely to kind of invest in some changes if you kind of understand why you're trying to change those things. And we never want to change something just to make the swing look better. It's got to be reflective of ball flight. Why do you miss it left? Why do you miss it right? So let's jump in Mapei, get TrackMan, get some numbers, then we'll go through it. Okay. First thing would be, generally your setup is pretty good. Okay. Your furthest left, so you kind of your tailbone, for me that gets a little bit outside your heels, so you've probably got a little bit too much weight through the heels of your feet. So the back of your shoulders, I like to see that just in front of the knees, and that's a little bit kind of back. So for me, your posture is just sat a little bit into your heels. You place hands on the club nicely, your feet are really good, ball position is good for that club. The angles, the tilts are good. Everything looks fairly nice and neutral. So really, setup is good. We just need to change a bit of your balance. So when you get to the top of the golf swing, and we're looking more on the left-hand side here, that club face tends to be a little bit open. Open. If you say to a golfer the face is open, they're automatically assuming it's going to go right. You've got your whole downswing there, so fix it, change it, do whatever you need to do. And actually, on those 7 shots there that we saw, the pattern was that the ball was more going left, which isn't surprising. You've got the face open, so you're just going to have to add in a lot of kind of rotation on the way down to fix it. But equally, with that face being open, you could equally leave some out right-hand side. Okay. On the right-hand side, pivot isn't ideal, but actually not too bad. We're not really going to worry about that today. We're not looking to, our job today isn't to change as many things as we can. It's to try and give you the least amount of instruction, which can give you the biggest effect on your golf game. Now, as you start to come down, you'll notice that your tailbone has shifted inwards, okay, which is kind of why we want to change that balance point a little bit at the start. Because that's shifted in, you will bring in the chance of hitting the odd one at the heel, which we've seen a couple today. I don't think we've got on camera, but there's one that's happened. So we can hopefully tidy that up a little bit by changing a little bit of your setup and your posture. This number tells us how much you're hitting down or up on the golf ball. Okay, if it's a minus number, which that one is, that means you're hitting down. Okay, for you with your speed, you could be probably -5, and you wouldn't get any issues from that. When you start to get too close to 0, you start to get a few poor strikes. Now, the more that you swing to the right of the target, the more shallow you tend to get, the more that kind of brings in those shots there. So we might tidy up a little bit of path, a little bit of attack angle, but our main job really is to get that face under control, to give you a little bit more consistency, but we might do a little bit of work on kind of attack angle and path as well if we get time. So we're going to kind of focus on those things that we highlighted in there. I'm going to make them far worse in this little demonstration. Okay, so top of your golf swing, the face is twisted to the right, okay, which effectively means the face is a little bit open. you also have a tendency to swing the club to the right of the target. So, like I said, you've got a right and a right. You swing right and the face kind of points right. So, doesn't mean the ball's going to go right, as we said, because you can fix it, but it means that you're going to have quite a bit of kind of club face rotation to get that ball to finish in the centre. So our job is to try and get the club face a little stronger, which means that you don't have to use as much kind of forearm rotation or as much of your wrist to square the face. Everyone's golf swing is a circle. We want the bottom of that circle to be target side of that ball. But what you'll notice is if I take that circle and we twist the circle so it points more out to the right, which is what your tendency is, the lowest part of that circle tends to move backwards. Okay, so it's now kind of more behind the ball. So for any golfer that swings excessively out to the right of the target, there's a very good chance that they're going to get the strike a little bit.
That makes a lot of sense, because I can, like, think of it like that, I can feel when that happens.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't necessarily have a grasp of that happening without someone pointing it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just low point. Everyone's got a low point, we just have to control it. Now, the kind of issue with your low point is it's changeable. So you've got some where you're kind of hitting down by 4 and some where you're hitting fairly level. Now, without going into massive detail, if your low point changes, effectively your club path changes. So if your club path is changing, what you need to do with the club face to hit it straight is also changing. So our job is first of all to get the club face a little bit more controlled. It's then our case to try and create a more consistent path with a more consistent attack angle and to give you a little bit less manipulation of the hands. If I take my setup here, if I don't move my upper body at all, so don't move my hands, my arms, my shoulders, my head, don't move anything, shuffle the feet in, weight goes heels, shuffle the feet back, weight goes toes. So for you to change your weight between heels and toes, you don't need to move your upper body, you just need to feel like you shuffle your feet back a little bit and you should start to feel like you feel a little bit more livelier in the legs. Take a backswing, and when you get to the top, I just want you to feel as if the club face or the back of your left hand is going to point more up towards the sky. Okay? If the face is open, it's either going to be the grip is poor, okay, which it isn't. It's not strong, but it's probably okay, or it's the fact that we need to change these kind of wrist angles. Okay. This time you're going to do that with a pause, but you're going to hit it. Okay. So back and pause. Okay. Go. Perfect. Good. 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 If you try and do me just a little takeaway, and I want you to try and feel like the club face points down at the ball in that takeaway. So just take your setup and just go to here and kind of hold it, but feel as if the club points down at the ball for as long as you can. Okay. So if you can do that, that already starts to control this wrist. Okay, so you can do a little bit of what we need fairly early in this backswing. The attack angle, which was something we really wanted to try and focus on, was -3. For those 11 shots, we've now got that to -4.9, which is good. And then if we look at the club path, which we wanted to move a little bit more towards 0, I mean, can't get a lot more 0 than 0.0, and you actually had quite a few there, 0, 0.2, 0.9, 1.9, starting to get more consistent. We've actually got a little bit more efficiency in the strike. We've got a more neutral path, we've got a better attack angle, and we've got the face better. Okay, you can still feel a little bit of that movement in the takeaway where we're trying to flatten this wrist out. Club face should feel like it's pointing a bit more down towards the ground. And then what I'd love you to do is fairly good body rotation through. And I want you to feel like you finish with the trail hand kind of more underneath the golf club and the club face pointing a little bit more up towards the sky. If you put the face open here, you've got two options. It's either going to go right, or to stop it going right, it's going to start to flip. Okay, so what we're looking for is normal setup, bit of weight left, handle forwards, and trying to pitch them out that way. Okay, when you're ready, weight goes left, hands go forwards. Perfect, push the hands forward here a little bit, good. Okay, now from there, no backswing, just kind of rotate through. That's kind of where you want to feel you finish. Okay,
Really
yeah, so there's no manipulation of the face there, you're just using a bit of your body rotation. Good, nice. Absolutely nothing wrong with trying to develop a little bit of skill. Okay, So skill would be your ability to create something without really too much thought. Okay, so same little setup, same backswing, make this ball go seriously left. There you go, good. So that was kind of your old goal swing. You feel like the right hand climbed over top a bit more and it went left. Okay, so now do the same thing but make it go right. There you go, perfect. Okay, but you can see how that end position relates to where the ball's going. So nothing wrong with a bit of practice and just having a bit of fun with it, you know, just leaving the face open, leaving it closed, because if the path is pretty neutral and you can hit one left, you can hit one right, you can hit one straight, you just need to train it really. You just need to bit of practice and work it really, because there's nothing in your technique to say you can't do that. But at the moment, that neutral release hasn't been used for the last few years, so you've just got to train it, okay? So now try and find the middle bit. Perfect. Didn't quite middle it, but its club face was good. Right, fitting all done. How did that go?
Yeah, no, very, very good. I mean, just some start numbers from your perspective. So, driver club head speed of 103. His driver was launching at 15 degrees.
Yeah.
Spinning at 3664.
That's pretty high spin, really, isn't it? That
very, very high spin. So what that did, even though his swing speed is quick, we started on 112 carry for 226. Sorry, 212 carry. 212 for 226. Pretty simple from our perspective. Went into the sim head to lower the spin.
Yeah.
Went down to a 9 degree, set to 9.75, just gave him that little draw. Lowered his spin from 3664 to 2408, which got him, I mean, 12 mile an hour ball speed, but our carry went from 212 to 247. Our total from 226 to 269.6.
So what was that end total carry?
So total carry, we've gone up from 212 to 247.
Yeah, so we saw in the lesson he started off, average carry was under 200.
Okay.
That was his average. Then we did a bit of work and we got it to sort of in the 215, 220.
Sure.
And then you gained him another 30 almost?
Yeah, I mean 35 yards carry.
So I guess that's the power of, you know, obviously changing the goal swing and then obviously having the right equipment to match that goal swing. It's such a powerful combination, isn't it?
It's absolutely a combination of two, and then having the club to do it. So from our perspective, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But obviously you had done the lesson first, so obviously we'll give you more credit. But the the club's also done what it needs to do. So yeah, very good.
Awesome. Perfect. And a happy customer?
Yes, very.
So we've just come off the 18th green, we played the hole 18 and the course is absolutely immaculate. Phenomenal condition, European Tour event here in 2 weeks time, so no surprise the course looks as good as it does. Ryan did really well. It was great to actually see him play on the golf course, because I think as coaches we probably don't do that enough. We see people at the driving range and possibly don't get to see them actually play the game. So it's really interesting to see his little kind of traits and his little things that he did on the course, which maybe we wouldn't have seen in the lesson. Difficult for him because he had some swing thoughts and he was trying to play golf with a different ball flight and some new feels, but he did really well. He hit some ropey shots, which what we'd expect. He's a 16 handicap golfer, so it's kind of what we see from all of those. But he hit some really nice golf shots, and for him, he was hitting shots on different ball flights, which was, I think, really kind of comforting that he was taking the changes that we did this morning out on the golf course. That gave him a lot of confidence. But we didn't really do loads of swing changes. We kind of just let him have a few ideas about what his golf swing was doing, but we looked a little bit more about where he was aiming, where he was trying to put his golfer from the tee, what clubs he was hitting from the tee, where he wanted to be on the green. Certainly around the green, it was looking at a little bit of kind of club choices and, you know, how he saw the shot. And the big thing I think really helped with Ryan is we helped him plan his shots a lot better. And I don't think he did that up to now. He was kind of just thinking about the end result and not really planning out how he was going to get there and what flight he was going to use and how he was going to adapt his club choice and setup to make that happen. So hopefully Ryan's got a lot out of it. Ryan, if you are watching this, hope you did, hope you enjoyed it. And hope you enjoyed this type of video, giving you a little bit of an insight as to what a day's coaching is like with me, and you know, taking that onto the golf course and kind of how that should be done. So thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below, comments box, like button, and I will hopefully see you again here for a future video.